What is up, everyone? My name is Mr. J, and today I am bringing you a Digimon deck profile. So a few weeks ago, I went to locals, I took Blue Flare, that was BT10. We are now in EX3. I am missing the Sorais, I'll put it up on the screen. The new card that's pretty good for blue in EX3. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it, and I'll let you know what cards I'm going to take out for that option card. But let's just start off with the eggs. We are running 4 Baby Domon. This is the one if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, you get to draw 1 card. Pretty good. I know this, like, a lot of people, I was gonna say a lot of students, a lot of people like to play the Upamon, draw 1 if your opponent has Digimon with no Digivolution sources. Yeah, it's like I have too many blue decks, so I'll be honest with you, I was just too lazy to switch out, and these perform really well. For some reason, your opponent always plays into the blue flare mechanic, which is, if you haven't noticed, if you have 2 or more Digimon on board, they're going to punish you. So blue flare, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon on the field, it pretty much turns on all your effects, and yeah. I don't know what else to say. If you're playing against blue flare, try not to play 2 Digimon on the field. For our rookies, we are running 4 Jellymon, 4 Gaussmon, and 3 Madoki Betamon. I kind of want to bump it up to 4. During the tournament, I only had 10 rookies. The Jellymon, at first, I thought it was trash. But if you notice in that matchup versus Justmon, it did win me that match because it bounced back the block that gave all the Sistermon's blockers. So with the inheritable. So yeah, Baby Domon, right? It'll trigger, so you'll draw a card, and then Jellymon inheritable, you can bounce back the block. And I mean, that was pretty good. I like that. That's what sold it for. So Jellymon, I'm going to keep it in there. Sure, you could do the Syakomon if you want. It's a personal preference, right? And then the Gaussmon's really good, but sometimes I feel like I don't see a Gaussmon on deletion. You get to play a level 4 with the blue flare and its traits from your hand, and you do get the on-play effect, so it's really good. This one you do want him to die in security. And then 3 Madoki Betamon, because Madoki is busted. In the mirror match, though, I feel like it is kind of a liability, because you don't want to play multiple Digimon on the field. Then moving on to the champions, we have 4 Greymon, Blue Flare, 4 Male Birdmon, 4 Decker Dramon, and then 2 Kumamon, 2 Greymon, the Sec +1 inheritable. So it's a lot of champions. So what is this, 8, 12, 14? 12, 14, 16, yeah, more than the rookies. But most of the time, like, you are playing this. Like the Greymon, you do want to play it. Even if you don't see the Gaussmon, you still want to play this because you get to search your top 4 and then add 2 cards with blue flare. So you can add the Kiriha, you can add the option card. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can do that because they do have blue flare in their traits, and we'll check it a little bit later. So yeah, Greymon pretty good, and then the inheritable is really good too. I forgot which one's which, because most of these, like, most of the time you have the male Birdramon and the Greymon under. This is the one if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon. Of course, if it's a blue flare type, you can only do that. So it's pretty good to unsuspend your Digimon. And then the male Birdramon is the one where if your opponent has 2 or more in play, you get to freeze. So they cannot attack or block. You choose one, they cannot attack or block until the end of their turn. That one's really disgusting. Like I said, if your opponent's playing into the whole gimmick of this deck, which is, you know, they'll leave 2 Digimon on board, turning on these inheritables, because these are the ones that matter, yeah, I mean, your opponent's in for a rough time. Then we have Decadramon. I like Decadramon because he allows you to, on play, he'll draw you a card, and then for each other Digimon your opponent has in play, sources or not, he'll draw you an extra card. So sometimes he's good just a hard play, and all these have save. So the Blue Flare, Greymon, Male Birdramon, and Decadramon, once they're deleted, you can save them under a Tamer, place them under a Tamer. That way you can use them for Digi-crossing later on. The 2 Kumas, if you notice, during the tournament I only had 1 Kumamon. I bumped it up to 2. I might bump it up to 3, to be honest. I'll tell you what I want to take out of this deck. And then the 2 Greymon, to be honest, it wasn't that bad because sometimes you won't see the Blue Flare Greymon, and then putting this under your Metal Greymon just for another Digicross, you know, like the material, is pretty good. I like it. Sec +1. Sec +1, and then you still get to freeze, potentially, you know. It's not bad. It's not bad. Alright, but those are our champions. Moving on to my one ultimate, which is, I'm most likely going to cut it, guys. I'm most likely going to cut it. Oh, we were, no, my bad. Not my only ultimate. This is like, okay. So here are the standard, textbook standard level 5s. We have 4 Metal Greymon and 4 Decker Greymon. So, and then let me put my little black sheep over here. 1 Cyberdramon. Yeah, I know. Okay. So Metal Greymon, no argument, it's the best card in the deck, right? And then most of your, like your Greymon and your Mailbirdmon, and I forgot to mention that too. The Mailbirdmon, on play, you get to play a Kiriha if you don't already have a Kiriha in play. And then it also, both the Greymon and the Mailbirdmon will get you the Metal Grey from trash. So it's a good way to recycle your Metal Greymon. But yeah, Metal Greymon, pretty good. Usually it's just a 3 cost if you have both materials, and it gains Rush. So it doesn't need inheritable for Rush, it just gains Rush for the turn. And then if you use, if you're Digicrossing, of course, you can freeze up to 3 Digimon with sources less than or equal to or less than this Digimon. So most of the time you're freezing something with like 2 sources max, and then obviously everything else that's that has no Digivolution sources. The Decker Greymon, I know some people only play it at 3 copies, but I really like this Digimon because if you have the Decker Dramon under, you can freeze just like the Mailbirdmon. You can freeze in an opponent's Digimon. It doesn't have to have, you know, a number of materials under. You just freeze it. You choose it and you freeze it. So I like that because sometimes you could just Digivolve on top of a level 4 and put the Decker under, and you'll still freeze something. So it's really good to catch your opponent off guard, even if they're playing around, like I said, even if they're playing around the whole, your opponent has to have 2 Digimon on field gimmick. As long as he has a Deckerdramon under, you're good. You can freeze him. The Cyberdramon. So, before I move on, you can Digivolve a Decker Greymon on top of a Decker Greymon, which is really cool because sometimes you'll be able to freeze your opponent's Digimon twice, right? Or 2 different Digimon, I mean. Anyways, the Cyberdramon, it did come up. What the hell am I saying? It did come up during the tournament. I think my Mailbirdmon swung into security and it lived, and then that was my opponent's last security. So I just had 3 memory, slide this bad boy under the Mailbirdmon unsuspends, swing again for game. So it's not totally useless. I don't know. It's really hard because I think early game this is such a brick. Like you don't want to see this card early game, but I guess you could say the same thing for the option card Sorai, right? So I might have to do a little bit more testing, take this again. But the Cyberdramon did do its job. It's just early game, if you see this in your hand and you're opening 5, no, it's not worth it. And in that case, I guess you might as well take it out, right? Maybe it is just a win more card, but it does seal the game kind of like a hybrid. So those are our 5s. Moving on to our level 6 Digimon, level 6. Level 7s, 2 Death Exmon. All right, I know, guys. I know. Look, it catches your opponent off guard. They don't expect, I mean, no. Nowadays, people throw Death X into anything. So your opponent most likely expects Jesmon to have Death Exmon, Imperial Dramon to have Death Exmon, where Garurumon, whatever deck you can think of, Death Exmon is in the deck because it is a pretty good card. I don't know if Konami, I don't know if Bandai is ever going to limit the card, but yeah, I remember I got them when they were like 55 or maybe 60 bucks. But I'm really glad I picked up. These are my only 2 copies I have. If you don't have Death Exmon, you can just play the Sorai option card. And then finally, let's just do the rest. So we have 4 Kiriha. You do need 4. I don't think I've run 3 because you need him to, you can suspend him so that you can use your Digimon that you saved earlier for the Digicross requirement. So he's very important. And then next up, he does set you to 3 too, which is, I always like memory setters. And then 3 Sora and Joe. I know. Oh, I don't even want to do that. Oh, look at that. I need one more, guys. I need one more. Let me fix this. I need one more, I know. Maybe they're going down now because they were going up before. Before it used to be 2 Sora and Joe, but I think it's a really good card. So I'm going to keep it at that. And I think this will be good versus Examon as well, because Examon, stripping those inheritables from the Examon, I think Sorai will be good just because, I don't know, I feel like Examon would be kind of hard for this deck. Did my voice crack there? Holy. And then finally, we are running 4 of the Blazing Memory Boost, and then 1 copy of Ice Wall. This one, reveal top 6. If you reveal, you get to add 2 Blue Flare to your hands. You can also add this. And then you get to play a Kiriha for free. For some reason at the tournament, it never played me the fuck Kiriha, bro. I don't know. I don't know what's up with this card. It doesn't like me. But yeah, when you get the Kiriha play for free off this bad boy for 5 costs, you get to search top 6, my bad. Grab 2 cards, the Blue Flare, so consistency, and then you get to play a Kiriha if the 6 were among them. That's pretty good. And then 1 Ice Wall. Ice Wall still broken. Play it, guys. Play it. I know some people don't play it because it's a one of. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know why in Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't play Raigeki, or they don't play like all those cards that are limited to 1, like Harpy's Feather Duster, and they're like, nah, you'll never see it. Why should I play it? I was like, you should play it so that you see it. You know, you can't see it if you don't play it. But that rounds up the Tamers and the options. Alright, but that's the deck profile, guys. You know how I am on the channel. Usually I play a different deck every single week. I'm not the type that plays that goes to locals every week and then plays the same deck. It just, for some reason, it's boring. I know it kind of sucks because I don't get to master an individual deck, but I think it's fun for the channel to do that. So if you have any suggestions on what I can update for EX3, to be honest, like, I think I would just change the Cybergermon for a Sorai. And then again, if you don't have Death Exmon, then I would play Sorai. Other than that, I don't think I would add Sorai to the deck. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, go ahead, leave them in the comment section down below. Again, I am not a Blue Flare expert. All right, I played the deck. I did get first place. This is first place. So yeah, apparently I was doing something right, even though round 1 I was still learning the deck. Anyways, my name is Mr. J. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.